Good people, what's going on? Look, a lot of discussion over the last couple of days, man, about this, the Rory situation, some old tweets. Oh man, this dude got exposed for some racist or some insensitive comments. But let's dive a little deeper real quick. You know what I'm saying? Because to me, this is just another example of what we've dealt with in hip hop since, since the early days. You gotta remember in hip hop, the culture, it was supposed to be a fad. We over what 52 years now, something like that, and early, late '70s, early '80s. They're like, oh, this ain't gonna last, man. Just kids in the streets in the Bronx, New York, and then expand all over, just having fun. It's a hobby. They didn't see it turn into this million and billion dollar business and cultural global situation where other cultures have adopted hip hop. You know what I'm saying? A lot of them adopted to try to make it to their own. You know what I'm saying? Which hip music grows, it moves, it transforms into different things. But the core of hip hop is gonna be what it's gonna be. Nevertheless, you know what I'm saying? It was called a lot of things early on, right? Hip hop was called about. We talking about racist. Someone called it, "Oh, that's just jungle music." That's nigga music. It's not music. It takes no talent to do it. It's just somebody mumbling on a microphone, somebody spinning, scratching some records, somebody taking other people's old music and sample it. Da da da. All these different insults when we know that there are some brilliant people from the early days all the way up to now in hip hop culture and rap music in terms of the actual music. We also know that there were magazines way back in the day that always found a way to list other genres albums over ours. Like we couldn't have a hip hop album that was as great as a Beatles album or as great as a Prince album. I know that seems kind of like hyperbole or whatever, but I'm just saying. But we think about it, those certain artists, certain albums were huge in their genre. Just like in our genre, we have It Takes a Nation of Millions. We have The Chronic. We have Illmatic. We have these kind of albums, right? Leading up to even some great albums over the last decade. But they were even looked at as, by some of the powers that be, whatever that main media as it's not is this, it don't take that much time to do it. You've seen insults over the last 45, 50 years. You've seen different news stations. Let's look at Fox News, for example. They don't respect rap music. They think it's BS gang culture music, and that's it. That's all it is, right? Like hip hop is just what I'm saying. Negative drugs, gang violence, etc. Like we ain't got poets in hip hop. Like we ain't got socially aware and socially conscious individuals throughout every era of hip hop. Like we didn't have by all means by KRS One talking about illegal business, right? We didn't have we didn't have Public Enemy and Chuck D talking about night living baseheads, AIDS crack epidemic. Can't trust it. You know what I'm saying? The history of slavery and how it affected generations and generations of black people. You know what I'm saying? We ain't talking about X Clan. We ain't talking about the brand Nubians, knowledge of self type thing. Poor righteous teachers, dead prayers, Black Star, Paris, Sister Soldier still part of the culture. Queen Latifah. I mean, I can keep going. Honestly, I can keep going for 5 minutes. But nevertheless, a lot of people who bigots looked at hip hop still like it's some BS. You know what I'm saying? So we've been insulted. You know what I'm saying? Like you think about certain rock bands and things like that in the '80s, they did stuff, said stuff, stood for whatever they believed in. Did the government really attack some of these people? But we remember didn't Dan Quayle say something about Tupac? Didn't Vice President running at the time, whatever? Didn't the FBI send a letter to Ruthless Records about F the police? Well, the police was kicking up people's ass. This is nothing new, right? So we can't say fuck the police. We can't say at that time we upset about what the police was doing. And these kids was making this music in California, saying that because it's like Eazy-E said about the Rodney King thing. He's like, oh yeah, y'all saw it on tape. It happens to us over here all the time. Police always beating somebody up. You know what I'm saying? Before the dude can even say anything, the police done knocked him beside the head. You know what I'm saying? Of course, we can look at history, American history. We can look at all the black and white, forget all the stuff over the last 20 years that we know police have shot unarmed black people and stuff like that. We already know it's a long list of that. You know what I'm saying? We ain't even got to talk about that. We can talk about before all of that. The videos out there of the police spraying water in Birmingham and all that on 8-year-old kids, putting sicking dogs on high school students, beating up Watts riots, you know, all this stuff, beating up people in the street because they trying to talk about what they believe in. They trying to protest. They trying to do all these things. And the police historically have been kicking black people's ass. Nothing new. It's always been this way. You know what I'm saying? So we can't say F the police in hip hop. Cops got off for kicking Rodney King ass. Right? Can you imagine if 4 or 5 black police beat the shit out of a white motorist on camera, busted them up? Do you think these Negroes getting off? Them dudes walked out smiling. That's why, you know, the LA riots happened. And then the Chronic by Dr. Dre ended up being the soundtrack for the LA riots. Even though it's a gangster album, it's a socially conscious album as well. If you go back and listen to some of the songs, the interludes are from the LA riots. That was a slap in the face of black people and racism in the LAPD, racism in NYPD, racism in everywhere in the police departments, right? Just giving some context here. So racism against black people, and most deaf said on Black on Both Sides, you know, what's going on with hip hop? Well, he's like, whatever going on in the community, we are hip hop. So whatever going on with us is what's going on in hip hop. You know what I'm saying? So when racism is thrown at us, racism is thrown at hip hop. Right? So the disrespect, going back to Fox News again. I remember when they pulled up, when Bill O'Reilly, I believe, pulled up in one of his segments way back in the day, the song Nas did called Shoot 'Em Up. I think Shoot 'Em Up was on Nostradamus or something. Yo, he put the lyrics on the screen and he dissected the lyrics, had think pieces, and it made Nas seem like, you know what I'm saying, the most gangster rapper ever. But I tell you what, they didn't put Heaven Was a Mile Away on there, did they? They didn't put any of Nas socially conscious songs on there, did they? They didn't blast any of the social conscious MCs on there. I bet they ain't dissect Reflection, Eternal, Train of Thought, track 4 Women, Nina Simone joint. Hey, Fox News won't talk about that. They show their bigotry and racism towards hip hop. They've done that for a long time. Now, within the culture, you do have non-blacks in the culture who's been editors and writers, you know what I'm saying, in the culture for a long time. Obviously, there was always a thing where like people had issues with Fat Joe and Pun and all them saying nigga, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, a lot of Puerto Ricans and people like that, you know what I'm saying? Some of them, you know, relate and they call themselves that. And so, no, it ain't done with the same malice, the ER. We know that. But some people still got a problem with it. I'm kind of on the fence. I don't know. But nevertheless, the racism in hip hop from people within the culture who aren't black is a real thing. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely a real thing. Some have been exposed, some will be exposed at some point. The one thing about social media now, things like that, they'll go back and pull them up. You know what I'm saying? They'll pull up and you'll see, you know, who, you know what I'm saying, is going to be exposed, or, you know what I'm saying, who said some things about black men, black women, black children. People come on hip hop, like in the comment sections of podcasts and different type of shows on YouTube, and look at some of the racist comments. Of course, most of them hide behind fake profile pictures, and we see that even on Twitter. Some of the stuff that come at certain platforms. I've had people come at me and they said certain things, and I'm like, yeah, black people ain't really talk like that. But they got a picture of somebody black on their profile picture, or they got a picture of like a black athlete or a black singer or some black historic figure, whatever. And the way they typing and the way if you ruffle their fellas a little bit, some of they clap back. It's not even the way the average black person even talk. So I'm like, that person ain't black. They posing just so they can say some racist shit. You know what I'm saying? That's nothing new. Now, some of these hip hop personalities that aren't black, yeah, they have to watch themselves. They have to tread lightly a lot of times. And yeah, even when it comes to the music, you think about concerts, the word nigga, Nigga, is in a lot of rap songs, unfortunately. So I'm one of those people when you see concerts. I mean, white people went to Public Enemy concert. White people went to brand new because white kids, especially like the college kids, stuff like that, for the last 40 years, always supported hip hop. They all went to the concerts. Now, has any of them said nigga singing the songs, just excited saying lyrics? Some of them catch themselves. Some of them said it doing concerts and stuff like that, or riding their car, listen to it. I was parked beside a white dude one day. He had Wu-Tang on at the stop sign. You know what I'm saying? I was right beside him. I don't know what I had on. I'm sure it's probably some hip hop. You know what I'm saying? He's singing along whatever Wu-Tang saying. Do I think he ain't said nigga? Well, it's in the rhymes. So some of that now, like you don't want nobody a non-black to say it, didn't take it out your rhyme. So I'm not even sweating that. If somebody's singing a song and that's in the song, I don't even care if you're not black. I'm not even sweating that because it's unrealistic to be like you're gonna censor yourself every time when you learning rap songs and you at a concert and you doing that, man, whatever. You know what I'm saying? We talking about blatant racism because that's not blatant racism. Hip hop has been under attack since day one. You know what I'm saying? Racism been part of hip hop since day one. We've had to deal with it. Whether it's record labels doing BS 360 deals, BS bad loans, creating bad debt for these guys, putting insurance on some of these guys get killed and they families can't even get no money. These execs on yachts with this, and the rapper is dead. A lot of times the family can't even, eat off the art. We know these things are true. You know what I'm saying? Roy, to me, is insignificant. Can't give you a pass though. You know what I'm saying? He trying to blow it off. He trying to play it off. First, what? That ain't me. That's fake. I don't know. Did you get hacked? People always say, "I'm gonna get hacked." You know what I'm saying? What is it? Your sarcasm not gonna work. Trying to blow it off is gonna work. Now, who gonna allow this to? Who gonna allow him now to resume with the same, I guess, fan base? I mean, yeah, he gonna lose some fans, but some people still gonna rock out to that show. I don't watch that show. You know what I'm saying? Like real talk, a lot of these huge platforms, like I said, they're not hip hop platforms to me. To me, they gossip platforms masquerading as hip hop platforms. That's the way I think. It's not hate. Hey, good luck to you. I know some of them got hundreds of thousands of views. You probably got sponsors. You're getting your money. Get your money. You still a gossip site to me because I don't look at people like some people look at. I don't care your name and I don't care your status and all this stuff. That don't matter to me. You got good content, And some of these big platforms, their content suck. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. I know plenty of small platforms. I don't care if you got 500 subscribers. I know some small platforms that stick to the music. I collaborate with a lot of platforms. Some of them big, some of them medium size, some of them small. Now they ain't them huge ones because them huge ones don't want to deal with mid-size or smaller platforms who really about music. They don't want to elevate some of us. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of us will wrap circles around them. For real. A lot of our knowledge way deeper than theirs. A lot of our subject matter way more diverse than some of this gossip BS on some of these big platforms. You know what I'm saying? So some of these guys get passes. I don't watch that Roy and Mal or whatever. I seen an episode or two before, and I was like, I don't really watch many of them because I ain't calling none of them out. I ain't saying no name on none of them. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, a lot of people came in hip hop, got what they wanted to get, and got out of it. Right? There's some people, I ain't gonna name a lot of them, but some of them came in and act like they loved hip hop. They loved when they was in high school. They loved when they was in college. They loved this. Then some of them leave hip hop and go run the rock music. Leave hip hop and go run the country music. Leave hip hop and go run some other kind of alternative music. Change their style, change the way they dress, change the way they talk, change their social group, they networking, everything. But they made their money off the hip hop culture and then dipped from it because they didn't love the culture. They used the culture. A lot of people use the culture. Just like a lot of people used jazz music. A lot of people used rock and roll. A lot of people use country music, gospel music, and the blues. Do I need to keep going? And some of these people that use it don't even like black people. There's people in some genres who think they started it. Some don't even know black African Americans started them, or they don't want to believe it. They'll try to cite something else that predated. And a lot of them people again don't even like black people. You know what I'm saying? Does Rory really like black people? Whenever I see a non-black dude, and we'll just use him for example, a white dude talking bad about black women. And other people, some people will say, you know what I'm saying? Well, black dudes say something bad about black women. Stay out of our family business, man. Yeah, there's gonna be some tension every now and then with black men, black women, like every race. White men and white women have issues. Asians, this culture, that culture, they all have issues internally. You know what I'm saying? So don't worry about what we're doing with our women. Worry about what you're doing with yours. But whenever you pull up old interviews, old tweets and stuff like that from anybody non-black talking about black women, it's worse than them talking about black men because our black women, just like women in general, are more vulnerable. So you're attacking our black women. Slick stuff. Because it's different smoke if you attack certain black men. This ain't the end. Like I said, we had plenty of people came into the culture, used it for what it's worth, and then dipped out. That's gonna happen again. Rory is just one of many that'll get exposed. You know what I'm saying? Because racism towards hip hop is a real thing. It's not going anywhere. We have to just be more mindful of who we allow to dissect our culture. Some of these guys, we let them have a platform to talk about hip hop. Go back and look at some of their middle school, high school pictures. They geeks. They ain't even like hip hop, and we let them now be the soundboard for hip hop because this person is famous and got a big ass following, and their words stretch farther than most people. That's why I always have to make sure, you know what I'm saying? Not only I'm doing videos and podcasts, but I'm make sure when I'm on social media and when I'm tweeting, I'm going to show love to the culture, talk about the history of the culture. I've been one of the fortunate ones where a lot of my tweets over the years always, I don't know why, you know what I'm saying? But they catch a lot of steam. A lot of them go viral all the time. You know what I'm saying? And I'm glad about that because I want to represent hip hop while some of these frauds out here, you know what I'm saying, defaming black people and defaming the culture. You know what I'm saying? So it's nothing new, man. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, the bigotry towards various genres of music that we created is going to be there. You know what I'm saying? But hip hop is alive and well, and we're going to be okay. You got to start weeding out the frauds. You got to start weeding out some of these guys, you know what I'm saying, who are bad for the culture. They've acted long enough. Got to get them off stage. They've acted long enough. Got to get them from behind that camera. Y'all shut some of these frauds down, man. What's your thoughts, man? Thanks for supporting the Dome podcast, ToneTheDome.com, man, where I got a lot of articles that I've written over the years, man, that I start back sharing again. Thanks for always rocking with me, the people that really rock with me on X, Twitter, whatever. I get inboxes all the time from people saying to me I'm one of their favorite people or their favorite person on Twitter. That's real humbling, man, because I'm just a regular dude. I ain't no celebrity. I ain't nobody, just a cat that love hip hop and have loved hip hop since Run DMC. So it's always humble. This week alone, several people hit me on X, not even in my inbox, just to say, you know what I'm saying, they appreciate me, man. And I appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? Again, keep supporting real hip hop. Keep supporting the real platforms, regardless of the size, that really love the culture, man. Peace.